My biggest piece of advice.
A few things I wish I would have known.
I wish I would have just known that.
There are a lot of things I wish I knew when I started my fitness journey. Thing that I wish I would have known.
Would I wish I'd known?
My piece of advice.
What's up, guys? So as you saw in the intro of this video, there are a lot of girls in this video, and I first got this idea from Emily Duncan and Amanda Bucci. They did roundtable videos with some people in the fitness industry, and I thought it was really cool. And then I'm in this group chat with these amazing women, and I was like, wow, we all have really cool things to say and we're really cool people, so let's do a video together. There were some of the girls who either were busy and couldn't get a video to me or couldn't figure out how to send to me, but I'm also going to link their information in the description box below. I'm going to let everyone talk and then you'll see me back at the end. So please listen to these amazing women. This is a little bit longer video, but 100% worth it in my face.
Hello everybody, my name is Gabby. Thank you, Sue, for doing this video. I think it's absolutely amazing to not only bring all of us together to kind of make one awesome video of a bunch of inspirational, amazingly strong women, but also you're one of my best friends and I'm just so proud of you and I love you so much. So pretty much my biggest piece of advice is, I guess there's advice for the whole journey. Advice for the beginning of the journey is so different for like advice when you're halfway through or when you're going through different things. Like I can give you advice for so many things and so many different stages and for so many different issues. But I'm gonna go with the advice that I wish I would have heard when I started. My biggest piece of advice to you, if you are just starting your fitness journey, if you're maybe halfway through and going through a rough time, or if you're just getting started again, my biggest piece of advice to you is to first off realize that it takes time. Everybody nowadays is looking for quick results. We're looking for a quick fix. We're looking for that magic pill or that certain exercise or the special diet that's gonna just magically make you fit and perfect and have your dream body. And I'm sorry guys, but it just isn't there. It doesn't exist. The best piece of advice I have to you is to know that it takes time, it takes hard work, and it takes consistency. So if you can accept that, know that. Have a plan of action, you are going to be so successful on your fitness journey. And then if I can give you another piece of advice, because Sue let me give them 2 pieces of advice. Second piece of advice is to learn to love yourself. If you can't love yourself at the beginning of your journey with the body you have, if you can't love yourself at your heaviest weight, I promise you, you are not gonna be happy at your lowest weight. Losing weight shouldn't make you love yourself more. Sure, you can love your body more and you can be more confident and stuff, but you need to learn to love yourself and your inner being, not your physical appearance, but who you are as a person. Learn to love that person before you start your journey, so then no matter what you look like, no matter what happens during your journey, you will always be happy and you will always love yourself and you'll always be proud of the progress you're making. Learn to love yourself, know that it takes hard work and consistency, and know that it takes time. Don't look for a quick fix. Hard work pays off. That is my biggest piece of advice. Everybody go follow me on Instagram, on YouTube if you want to see more of me. Sue's gonna link it below. Real, thank you guys so much, and on to the next person.
What's up guys? My name is Desiree Scoggin, also known on Instagram as Desb. I am a bikini competitor, currently in an off season, bulking hard and loving it. I mean, I'm just living really comfortably and I'm loving the process of what I'm going through. So I'm here today because Sue decided to make this amazing video talking about something that we wish we would have known. And this can go, I believe, anything from in life to fitness to health to school to business related and life. I have no clue. It can be so multifaceted. But what I want to say is, for me, something that I wish I would have known or that someone would have guided me more on is that everyone has a beginning. We get so caught up in looking at people that are big on Instagram or big in life in general. You know, Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, Tyra Banks, Amanda Bucci, Taylor Chamberlain. All these people are so influential and are people that I think all of us in the fitness community or in life in general know of and look up to. The one thing we have to remember is that you can't compare yourself to people like that. And what I say is that you can look up to them, you can idolize them, you can want to be at that point, but know that they started where you started too. I mean, Oprah Winfrey didn't just wake up and start her own television show and become like a multimillionaire. Bill Gates didn't roll out of bed and just create technological shit and like win at life. They all had a grind, they all had to figure it out, and I think that that's something that we all need to revisit too. Some people even look at people like me and the people in this video, Sue, Lexi, Mick, everyone, and they're like, holy shit, like they're so cool, or they have 20K followers or whatever. But we all started with zero. We all started somewhere. We all have our own individual messages. And yes, that's something to look up to, and that's something to want to be at maybe one day. But you also have to remember that we started somewhere too. And I think we all get caught up in wanting to be our best selves right away. And we forget that it's a journey, and it's such a fun journey to be on. And for me, that's something that I wish people would have reminded me more of. And now that I'm surrounded by people that are like-minded and are positive people and uplifting and empowering, the more that I do realize that, you know, I'm still on a journey myself. But for people that are just new to a journey of any sort, a different walk of life, you just have to remember that success will come slowly. You're not just gonna wake up and be successful as fuck and have money to roll in and bathe in. You need to grind, you need to work hard, you need to go through downs to get ups, and you have to go through the worst storm to get the most beautiful rainbow. And that's something that I truly believe in. So, woo! Desb, inspirational as fuck. That's what I have to say, and honestly, listen to the rest of these girls and what they have to say as well, because we all come from different scenarios and different journeys, and I think it's just really cool to collaborate right now and have this. So, love you guys, and thank you so much, Sue, for letting me be a part of this video. Pew.
Hi, Sue's channel. My name is Sara Brust, and I guess my piece of advice is that having abs and being shredded year-round is not the image of health. I get a lot of DMs of girls that are just like, you know, I want to look like you, or I want to do this, or I just want a six-pack of abs, I just want abs. Like, I feel like abs are very trendy, and most of the time they're not attainable. Like, to have abs, like abs are very genetic. Like, some people are more predisposed to have less fat on their stomach, and then the other thing is obviously body fat plays a role. So if you're a leaner individual, you have less body fat, especially in the stomach area, you're gonna have more abs, visible abs. And for most people, that's just not attainable. Like, especially many girls, TMI, don't have their periods, or they miss periods because of low body fat percentages, or not eating enough, or over-exercising. And because they just have this tunnel vision, they want the perfect lean physique, and aesthetics is just too important in their minds, and they don't live life. Like, a six-pack should not be your #1 goal. Getting into fitness, you should be getting into fitness because it's something you enjoy. You should be doing something that you enjoy, that keeps you healthy, that makes you happy. I know, like, a lot of girls look up to those inspirations on the internet that are like lean and shredded year round. They may not even be lean and shredded year round, you know? Like, you can take a picture and post it 6 months later. So keep that in mind as well. So have attainable goals, and don't focus solely on aesthetics, and find something that you like to do. Don't torture yourself. Fitness should be fun. Okay, I've rambled enough, but thank you and peace out.
Alright, I have tried to do this more times than I can count, so let's hope this is the final one. Sue, I'm warning you right now, you're gonna have to edit this. So, a few things I wish I would have known going into the fitness industry are, the first thing, why? You need to have a clear, why am I doing this? What am I trying to accomplish, and why do I want to do this? And if it has anything to do with anybody else besides yourself, you need to reevaluate. If you're doing this for others, you will burn out. Plain and simple. You'll fail. I hate saying that, but it is the truth. It's the ugly truth. You need to do this for yourself. And then down the road, if you find yourself, there's a day where you're not motivated, pull out your vision board, whatever it is. Look at why you started. Look at how far you have come since the day you started. I promise you, you'll be in that gym again. You'll be back on track with the diet, whatever it may be. That'll get you motivated. And if it's not, you need a new why. Second, your health, mental and physical, is number one priority, okay? You need to make sure you are doing your own research when it comes to the physical health, when it comes to your diet or anything like that. Do not just put your health in the hands of a coach just because they have coach in front of their name. That does not mean a damn thing, okay? I made that mistake and it screwed me over, okay? I was very naive, as is anyone who starts off at anything in life. You're going to be naive. You're not going to know these things. So I was hearing all of this. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Sure, I don't know any better. Sure, whatever you say, I'll do. I did, and it screwed me up. I'm now doing my own research, and I'm learning more about my body. I'm not going to say it's too late, but I have already messed up my gut health and my metabolism, so now I'm having to backtrack and restart the whole thing. You don't want to do that. Start off doing this in a healthy manner. This is a lifestyle change. This is not just a fast track to lose some weight and look good on the beach. If that is your why, please, please, please reevaluate it. I promise you, you're going to hate yourself down the road if you can't lose weight later on because you messed up your metabolism, or you are physically so drained all the time because your adrenal glands are shot because you over caffeinated yourself, because you weren't getting your energy from a fat or a carb, so you drank 20 monsters a day like I did. Just do your research and do not put your health in the hands of anyone else, because you have one shot at this, you have one body, don't mess it up. I'll just surround yourself with positive, knowledgeable people. Do not compromise your health to look like somebody else, because at the end of the day, this is who you are. You're not going to look like her. You never will, no matter what you do, no matter what drug, pill, diet, cardio you do, you're not going to look like her. So work on being a better you. Don't work on being her. For what? Don't. This is a lifestyle. This is not a quick change. And you need to love yourself throughout the entire process. That's something I have struggled with tremendously. You need to love yourself at your low points and at your high points. You need to understand why you started, and you need to look back onto your day 1 versus your day 500. Look at how far you've come in between, and do not compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 60. That's doing you such an injustice. Is that the word? Edit that, please. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Good luck in your journey. Make gains. Love yourself. If you want a damn burrito, go eat a damn burrito.
Hello, YouTube. I am sitting at the Baltimore airport on the floor right now recording this for you guys because Sue was so awesome putting this video together of a bunch of us girls who have kind of come together to motivate each other and get to know each other outside of the fitness community personally, because we're all people too, and we all have other interests besides going to the gym and looking lean or bulky or whatever it is. And she wanted us to talk about excuses and something that we wish that we would have known before starting our fitness journey. And I think this, what I'm doing right now, is kind of one of my points. Is I wish I would have just known that this is my journey, and this is to not care what others think about you. I'm sitting on the floor at an airport talking to my phone, and people are looking at me like I'm crazy. But once you put down your wall and realize that you're doing this for yourself, you will get so much more joy out of it. And that's what it should be. You shouldn't be doing things because you see people on Instagram doing them, or your friend is counting macros, so you think you should be counting macros, or your friend is doing a bikini show and you think you should be doing a bikini show. Everything that you do should be something that you do because you want to. And along that point, The biggest piece of advice I have for you is to surround yourself with positive people, which is something that I've been able to do through this group of women, through meeting Sue. We're all in a group message, and whenever one of us has good news to share, we can share it without feeling like we're being cocky. And those are the kind of people that you need in your life. As cliche as it sounds, you need the ones who are going to lift you up and be positive. Like, I lost so many friends during my bikini prep, but looking back on it, they weren't real friends and they weren't real people that I feel like I added value to my life. And doing, adapting a healthy lifestyle and, joining the Fit Fam, whatever it is, I feel like you connect to so many real, genuine people, and you learn who you really want to be around and who you want to surround yourself with. So I wish that I would have known that, to just have my wall down and not be so afraid of what other people think.
Okay, so I don't do YouTube. I don't even have a YouTube channel because I hate hearing myself talk and watching myself because I use my hands too much, which I'm already doing. But anyways, Sue asked us what our best advice was and something that we wish we knew before we started lifting. So here we go. I think my best advice, or something that I can tell you, is not to compare yourself to others, and don't do things just because other people are doing them. When I first started lifting, I constantly compared myself to all these girls that are competing and they're so lean, like they're stage lean. I honestly, truly thought that that was something that I could achieve and something that was normal and healthy to look like all the time. I didn't understand that, they're prepping for this show for a certain amount of time and they're not going to be this lean all the time. They're just doing it for basically one day or however long they're doing the shows for. But I constantly would look at myself in the mirror and think, why do I not look like them? Why can't I look like this? Like, what is this girl doing different that I'm not? Basically, when I graduated high school, I gained maybe 8 to 10 pounds. And so then I downloaded my fitness pal and was like, oh, let me follow this. I'll start losing weight by doing this. It had me on 900 calories or something, I think. So that was what I was eating daily, and I have IBS, so I'm constantly bloated, so that's just something that I have to deal with. Always had to make sure that I was on track, and if I'd go over the next day, I wouldn't eat as much, or I would do a bunch of cardio to try to make up for it. I wish I would have known ahead of time how bad that can be for you. So my advice to you is, don't do things that others are doing. Don't compare yourself to these girls that are stage lean because they are doing it to compete. Especially if you're not competing and you have no idea what you're doing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Don't feel like you have to compete just because you're into fitness. Honestly, you don't. Don't do things just because others are doing them. Don't compare yourself to anybody. I know this is really hard as a girl, but stop comparing yourself and you will be 10,000 times happier. Alright, thanks for listening to me ramble. That's all I got for you.
There are a lot of things I wish I knew when I started my fitness journey 2.5 years ago. There are so many factors, I feel like, that go into every individual's fitness journey. Their body type, their height, their weight, their age, their hormones, how their body responds to different foods. And the most important thing I wish I knew is that I wish I knew that I'm unique. Just because someone else is doing something doesn't mean it's gonna work for me. Just because someone is able to not do cardio and not gain weight doesn't mean that's the same for me. Just because someone can eat 2,500 calories a day and not gain weight doesn't mean that's the same for me. Another thing I wish I knew is there is such thing as too much protein. When I first started lifting, I ate so much protein, like egg farts, all of the bad things that happen when you eat way too much protein. And what happens is my body got fatigued so fast because I missed out on the energy that carbs and fat supplies your body with. Another thing that I wish I knew is I wish I knew how up and down a fitness journey is. You're not always going to be you know, getting stronger. You're not always going to be losing weight. Sometimes you're going to be gaining weight. What used to work for you at the beginning of your fitness journey might not work for you anymore. I also wish I knew to do things that I love. And I think we so often base things off of what others are doing that we totally miss out on what we love. It becomes like a chore when you do things that you don't want to do. So I feel like, I know it takes time, but I feel like I wish I understood what balance is and how important it really is to having a lifestyle that is balanced when it comes to fitness, nutrition, foods. When I first started out, I was so strict. And I'm not a competitor, I'm just a normal girl. But I got so fixated on the numbers. The numbers in my FitnessPal, the calorie count on my watch, the scale. You know, I would weigh myself 5 to 6 times a day, and if I was up in weight, I would be like, oh, well, you know, I'm hungry, but that's too bad because the scale says I'm heavier, you know? So I feel like it's such a learning process, and it's such a learning curve, and it's so important to understand when you start that you're gonna learn every single day. You're gonna learn about your body, you're gonna learn what works best for you. You're gonna learn that sometimes you're gonna wanna quit. And for me, discipline has never been a problem. I am balls to the walls. If I have a plan, I'm sticking to it. I rarely ever quit out on workouts. And getting things done has never been my issue, but I know for some people, they try and, you know, lean up against motivation far too much. And if you have a goal, you're gonna have to learn that motivation is fleeting and it's not always gonna be there with you. Oh, people are always gonna have an opinion of you. They're gonna have an opinion of what you eat. They're gonna have an opinion of when you go to the gym, how often you go to the gym, how long you go to the gym. Don't listen to them. Because when I first started, people said why, and now they ask me how. How did you do it? How do you do this? Help me, help me, help me. Stay strong. Do what you gotta do. You know, make yourself proud, because in the end, it's you that you have to live with and not others.
What's up, everyone? I'm Mick, and one thing that I wish I would have known when I first started my fitness journey would probably be to do it for the right reasons and go into the gym with the right intentions and mentality. And what I mean by that is, don't work out to fit someone else's mold of perfection and to fit the mold that society has for girls. Go in there because you know that when you walk out, you're gonna be a better person, and you know that when you walk out of the gym, you're gonna be stronger. And I think once you have that mentality, you are gonna be golden.
So what would I wish I'd known, say 4 years ago, before I got into fitness, before I got really into my major in school? Pretty much what I would have wanted to know as a young teenager. I think it would probably be to not compare myself to anyone else. And that sounds cliche, but that is honestly the best advice I've ever received. A lot of times we see social media and we get caught up in these people's lives and we idolize them when really they're just like us. They are no different than we are. They just have a following. That's all it is. They have the same opportunities as we do. We have the same chances. They have all the potential that we have as well. So with that being said, honestly, after my prep, I stopped following all the big name fitspos. I just found myself comparing them, their life, everything. Like, I wanted that. I wanted it so bad, but I wasn't doing anything about it. Since I have stopped following all of these people, I found myself being more of a doer. I take action more rather than just say. I've made changes to my life that I now am more, all right, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I wish I could do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to actually do. What steps can I take to do X, Y, and Z? And that is the best advice I've ever gotten, which is so simple and so hard. Because even now, I find myself sometimes not comparing myself to say people who are more successful, but people who started before me but made the right decisions. I made a lot of wrong decisions leading up to where I am now, and if I hadn't, I would be a lot farther. But you can't dwell on the past. You can't think, oh my gosh, I would be, if I wouldn't have messed around and just tried to get smaller and smaller, I would be so much stronger. I'd probably have like 50 more pounds on my deadlift. I would probably have much more muscle definition, all that. You can't do that. You can't dwell. You can only learn. Stop looking at everything you've done wrong as failures. If it's only a failure if you let it be a failure. Because truly, if you take everything that happens in your life and you learn from it, you're gonna go so much farther. You're gonna have much more knowledge and be able to help other people not make the same mistakes. You should look at it as a positive rather than a negative. And that is another thing I've done. I've changed my mindset from negative and always being, not a pessimist, I think that's the word, but more, I've been optimistic. I've always taken everything with a grain of salt. I've changed my way of thinking to always make sure I excel. And in my beginning, I didn't do that. I was always very negative, very hard on myself. Like, oh, if I failed a 225 deadlift, I would let that affect my whole workout. I would be distraught over it rather than, okay, I didn't pull it. Well, let me back off the weight and maybe do more reps, more sets than what I was planning to do with the 225. You can always change everything. You can always manipulate the situation for your benefit. And that is something I think is very key in not just fitness, but in life. Mindset is everything. Learning, constantly growing. You need to have your blinders on, per se. Is you can look up to certain people, but you need to make sure you are not falling trap to just wishing. And when you fail, you can change what you learned to be like, all right, so this didn't work out for me. This is what I'm gonna do now. You need to have a plan. You can't just say, I wanna go do this. You could have this big goal in mind. Say it's to lose like 10 pounds. Well, how are you gonna do that? You need to make steps and smaller goals to achieve the bigger goal. If you just have this outlandish goal in mind, you are gonna fail. And I'm saying that as in, you aren't gonna reach it, you're gonna get disappointed. And it's the smaller steps that lead up to it. Smaller goals will help you get to the bigger goal. It's going to help motivate you, keep you inspired. You can't expect things fast. You can't expect things to be easy. You need to put in the work. You need to put in the effort. Because you aren't entitled to anything. You are not, no one's gonna hand you anything. No one's not just gonna come up and freaking cut the 10 pounds off of you. No one's gonna increase your squat by 20 pounds. No one's gonna do anything but you. You aren't entitled to anyone that spawns all this free information on the internet. No one needs to put out there. They're putting out to help you not make the same mistakes they are, to learn from what they've done, because they want to help people. And you need to always be grateful for that and remember that. Be like, I need to actively get better, to do research, to evolve, because at the end of the day, who's there for you? Who's gonna put in the work? You. It's all about you. This is something I've learned over the years. I always like to put others before me, and I've learned I need to be selfish to get what I want in life. I can't let my goals take the back seat just because someone else may be intimidated by it or may be scared. The fear is all irrelevant. You make up the fear. Fear is stupid. You are so close to the edge when you have these goals in mind. You just need to push yourself. You need that extra step. And that is something else that I've rambled about, so I'm sorry. I love you.
So some of these girls were repetitive, and I left it in there to show you that obviously the things that they're repeating are important things. So you heard some of the girls say, don't compare yourself, or it takes time and you need to learn about your body, and you need to learn in general about fitness, and that you should do it for yourself. So I kept people repeating in, and I didn't tell them oh, this person can talk about this and this person can talk about this, because I wanted to hear their actual opinions about what they thought was important to know. And I guess my thing are all of those things, but also just to know that I am capable and that I can do hard things. Kind of cliche because I talk about that a lot. but also that I don't need to weigh less to be worth more. So when I started, I didn't really look at myself as capable. I thought that I was stuck with my circumstances, and hence the reason why the 3 videos last week were all about excuses, because I had to get out of that excuse mindset. And so learning that I was capable and that I could do the things that I didn't previously think I could do, like, I wish I could just shake younger Sue and say, like, you're freaking capable. Like, why are you selling yourself short? You're capable of doing so much more than you're telling yourself. You're getting in your own way. So learning that I was capable was a huge, huge turning point in my fitness journey. And the other thing I just mentioned was that I don't need to weigh less to be worth more. So all through high school and then at the very beginning of my fitness journey, all I wanted to do was weigh less. I wanted to be a certain weight. I wanted to have a thigh gap. I wanted to be small. I wanted to take up less space. I wanted to fit society's like perception of beauty. That's all I wanted. But now, like, the weight isn't what matters to me, and I want to be empowered and strong, and like, I want to be what I want to be. So learning that I don't need to take up less space to be worthy. I don't need to be a certain number on a scale or burn a certain amount of calories or anything like that to like be who I want to be. So learning that I'm capable, and learning that I can be what I want to be, and I don't have to be small. And not saying that small is bad, but just that I don't need to be less. I don't need to take up less space. And that's not just with weight in my body, but like with my mind. I thought that I had to think smaller and be this person that was just small thoughts, small mind, small everything. And now, like, I just want to have big thoughts and be strong and have big muscles. So those are my pieces of advice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys go and follow these amazing women and see everything they have to say, and maybe you'll see more videos like this in the future. So love you all so much. KK, peace out. Bye.